All right, let's talk about it. Deep spit, man. Deep fucking spit. So a lot of you guys need to try to figure out how to build your life. And you guys are stuck in this paradox, or not paradox, but you're stuck in this rat wheel of just doing the same shit and nothing's going anywhere. And you continue to be stuck. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, how do I figure out how to build my life into something where I could be one of these people on the interwebs showing off everything I got? Well, I'm going to help you out, people. Let me grab some coffee real quick. All right, we back. So listen, first step to building your life, take some goddamn inventory of where you are in life. You can't build, you don't know where the fuck you're sitting at. You gotta know your foundation, what your location and position is. Because the first step of building anything in life is finding prime real estate. You gotta figure out, is there a river next to you? Do I have fertile lands? Are there mountain ranges to protect my backside? You gotta really look at your life and see, where do I want to position myself so as I begin to build, I don't have to go back, retake back up the foundation, carry my tools back to another spot because this place is fucking barren. There's nothing there. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you want to be somebody who's industrial and make a lot of money in business, chances are you should probably live somewhere within the city because the city has the most people, and just by sheer numbers and sheer volume of industry that's going around, chances are you're gonna be pretty successful in business because you're around a bunch of businesses. If you want to be a farmer, chances are you should probably go live some places where there's farmland. It doesn't make sense to live in a fucking city if you want to be a farmer. It accomplishes nothing. So figure out where you want to be in life, what you see yourself in life, and then kind of set in position. I really recommend most young guys go to the cities. Go to the cities, go get your teeth sharpened, and you can always go back out to the frontier later. But you need to learn how to navigate within the city. Unless you just want to be a pure fucking huntsman that just hangs out by himself, then yeah, go ahead. That's your fucking prerogative. But for most young guys in the 21st century, go out to the cities, learn how to navigate, and then you can always go back to the countryside. Secondly, what is your skill set? See, it's enough to know what you have around you, but you got to figure out what's your skill set. What do you have that you can be able to do that provides value to other people? If you don't have a skill set that provides value to other people, then get to work. I don't know what to tell you. Get to work, figure out what is valuable to people, which would be the first thing. Observe, and then once you finish observing, make a plan. And then once you finish making a plan, take some action. And what you need to understand as a man is, in order to build your skill set, you gotta observe what's around you. That's what's necessary. If you got a bunch of people who do basket weaving, why would you be the fucking 100 person does basket weaving? You know what you should do? Figure out the accessory or something else that goes with basket weaving that you could sell to people that would make basket weaving easier. So that way you make money off of all the basket weaving people. Figure out how to leverage every skill set you got to put you in a position where you're in a better spot. Most people don't do that enough. Most people are always talking about action, 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 action. Listen, no. You don't need to be taking that much action at all times. If you're taking a bunch of action, that means you're doing low leverage type activities. Because low leverage activities don't cost you too much if you fuck up. But you want to figure out a nice equilibrium with a balance. One of the things I've kind of discovered in life is there are three things. There is action, observation, and planning. Those are the three, and then there's like rest and other shit and enjoying the fruits of your labor. But those are separate layers of something else. But for the primary thing for a sapien is observe, plan, action. And the more leverage you have on a situation, the more you should probably plan and observe before you make an action, because that one action step is going to have such a fucking huge balance effect. Like, one little action will give you a bunch of fucking good results, but if you fuck up, it also wastes a bunch of good shit. But if you're doing low range activities, you don't necessarily need to worry about like plotting. Like, saying you're going for a run, you don't need to really plot that much for running. You don't need to observe that much for running. You can just go out and go run. Physical activity, just go out and go do. Now, if you're playing like a sport or something, then you need to plan a little bit better, taking inventory. And like, same thing with business. If you're just selling random PDFs online, hey, just go shill away. But if you're doing a real estate deal, you should probably observe, plot, and think a little bit more, because there's such a heavy leverage point where one bad mistake ruins the whole deal and you lose all those resources. So start to figure out when you're trying to build your life, is figuring out that equilibrium equation. If I had to draw it up for you, it'll kind of look like this. Or a handy dandy whiteboard. But if you imagine, it's kind of just like this. So you got your plot, and then your observation. So your observation is like your your what you call it point. It's like your Vulcan point. So depending on where this thing is sitting, how much you're observing. So if you're observing, let's say for example, a lot something that takes a lot of action or very few action. Like we'll say like this is if my new point becomes here. See from this point, my plotting has way more effect on my actions. So the more I plot, the more it weighs down and it's harder to counteract for this one small action. So one action, if I just push down pretty easy, that plot's gonna go all the way up. It's like if you ever seen like a seesaw, if you can move the frame. I wish I could show you this in physics, but like if you have to plot a lot, that means your one action that you press down on is going to give you a bunch of fucking huge results, a huge payoff. And then we got the opposite, which is like, and I might be fucking up the do a bunch of one big action step, and then one small action step gives you a bunch of less plotting. So less plotting means you have to do less action steps because there's no real like trade off for it. But anyway, besides the point, I hope I'm making some sense. But there's leverage points. I got to drop a better diagram to help you guys out. But figure out where you are on the fucking thing. So next, how to build your life. We got 3 steps to it. It starts from your mind to your body, and then to the things around your environment. And that's how you build out. Before you can accomplish anything and do anything in life, you got to be able to fucking figure out your mind. Study your mind. Build this thing. As soon as you build this thing up, everything else becomes easier. Then you understand, okay, I got to train my body. My body has to be next. And then my body has to be able to maneuver and change things in the outside world. And that's how you start to build your life out. Mind, like / spirit, body, environment. And always just look at things that way, because your mind, your outer experience is a reflection of what your mindset is. So if you put yourself in a fucking mind state where you're always trying to level up and grow, eventually your surroundings will follow suit. But there's a lag effect. You have to see it in your mind long before it gets around you to get what you want. Like all the things I see around me, I've already envisioned these things long when I was a young lad. It's now starting to come fruition. I'm starting to realize, okay, the more I keep striving further in the future, the more things get around me that suits me for my future self. And that's pretty much the game of life, man. So once again, 3 lessons. Figure out a place to plot where you're going to sit and build your fucking home base. Take inventory of what skills you got, what materials you got, and what you can do with what you got. Action, plotting, observation. Those are your 3 leverage points for all things. Figure out what you need to do, make an action thing, and then observe if it makes sense or not. If you can figure out the perfect balance of action, plotting, and observation, you will get to like this enlightened state, because you'll understand how to stay in perfect equilibrium where your actions don't fuck you too much and you don't overplot things that cause you for low action and low rewards. And last, everything's a reflection of your mind. Your mind reflects what your body turns into. Your body reflects what your environment turns to. Your environment changes what your mind starts to look at, because it's a feedback system. So in my mind, I see what I want to be. I study, build my mind. My mind then controls my body. My body controls my outside influences and things around me. And my outside influences start to change my mind, because now I have different things to take in. And that's the way the game goes, man. Hope this makes some sense. Enjoy.